Hello, welcome back. Today we're going to share a little bit different from what we have shared over the essential clause. In fact, when you write a will, there is a portion where you can also mention other than distribution of your asset. Meaning to say, you can also have a section in the will to mention what is your terms of endearments. For example, many of my customer has something to say to their children when they are no more around. That is called terms of endearment. In the terms of endearment, they can be directing to a wife, directing to the father, directing to the children or the whole family. Say that how he missed them and all the stuff. At the same time, in the declaration here, we can also mention certain important clauses or sentence that to prevent future contesting of the will. For example, you can mention that I'm aware and sound mind, not leaving anything to so and so. Okay? And I can also say that I'm aware and sound mind, not leaving anything to Mr. or my son. What's the name? And you can also put in a statement saying that omission of a beneficiary name in the will is intentional. Means to say that those people's names are not mentioned. It's not that you neglect or you overlook. It's you intentionally do not want to put them in. You can be very specific to mention that you are aware and some might not leaving anything to this particular person. That will prevent contest, prevent dispute. In this declaration part, you also can mention things like private principal resident. What is private principal resident? Basically, in Chinese, it's called the ancestor home. You can mention that house number 8 is my private principal resident. That's where this testator passed away. That house, and that house is willed to a son, for example. But it's his wish that that PPR or private principal resident can be resided by other children, for example, unmarried daughter, unmarried son. So this is a wishes that the testator wish to pass through to their children. And in the declaration here, we also can mention a reason why certain people is omitted. Just example, I have a customer, Mr. Roy from United Kingdom, and many years ago, 30, 40 years ago, his wife was struck with cancer, and he was helping to go through that very difficult patch of time. And her two daughters, who are qualified lawyers staying in London, never visit them or even never come back and see what happened to the mother. And subsequently, the wife passed away. Mr. Roy was very sad, and even sad when he heard that the daughter all get married and he was never invited to their wedding. And later years, Mr. Roy also struck with lung cancer. And apparently, he went through the very difficult time. And finally, he recovered from the sickness. With broken heart and sadness, he left United Kingdom 10 years ago and come to Malaysia under the second home program. And he found a Malaysian Chinese lady called Jenny, and he stayed happily with Miss Jenny, Madam Jenny. And in his will, he written down there, I am aware and sound mind not leaving anything to my two daughters, so and so. And he write down all his sad story in this will. In that case, it will prevent the daughter from challenging or whatever to the will, and make sure that his will come true. And in this portion also, there are also many customers who will mention, I wish to be cremated, or I wish to be buried at where, or I wish to be cremated and my ash to be scattered over which part of the sea. Just like Mr. Roy, he told me that he wished to be cremated and his ashes to be scattered over Sydney Harbour in Australia. That's where the wife ashes was scattered there. And recently, many customers has prepared, buy, and purchase those premium care packages. So you can also mention there, say that I have purchased a package, premium package from Nirvana or Xiao En. Please consult Xiao En. Okay. But however, for this type of thing, it's better that the customer inform the family member, because by the time when you read the will, the funeral could be over. There are also customers who mentioned that I wish to be my funeral to be follow the the Christian rites or Buddhism rites. So all these preferred things that he wished the family member to do can be listed in the declaration. And there are also things that many of my customers nowadays would like to put. For example, his distribution is not fair. I mean, you can't get a fair distribution. So he will give a son 50% or daughter or whatever. And he would like to put a statement saying that I'm sound mind aware, and this is my final distribution. Any of my beneficiary or the spouse of the beneficiary or the children of the beneficiary who challenge the validity of the entitlement of this beneficiary, the entitlement of this beneficiary will be forfeited and disqualified and given to other beneficiary. With this strong statement, it will prevent children from trying to create issue over the will. So you can see that on top of the 5 essential clauses that we must have and must be carefully stated, written, you can also have this declaration put in the will to make your will more meaningful and more, more functioning, so that there won't be any people will come and contest the will or give challenge to the will. Thank you.